Hello everyone, hello. Welcome back to another video. I've got a few more triggers, and I've actually got one that has surprised me for how well that it sounds. I'm gonna say that last. However, my job outside of ASMR is quite taxing on my hands. I don't know if you can really see them. Probably not. I probably won't focus on them. But I've actually got a lot of cuts and stuff. I work in carpentry and like the finish end of construction, and because of that, my hands get very dry. They look wrinkly. I hate them. I'm very upset with how bad they look. However, my dad showed me a interesting thing that he used when he would work. Hashtag not sponsored. Working hands cream. Now this stuff is actually really great on my hands, specifically for what it is. I mean, it's in the title. However, I don't know how this is going to sound, but just realized I had not applied any yet today, so. Something else I noticed is that for some reason my camera would freeze every so often. I don't quite know why. Even during the editing process, I re-recorded and it did it without fail, like religiously. I have no clue why. I have not been able to figure it out. It's also not recording in 4K, and I think that's just because of the platform I'm using, because quite a few other things I've done actually require some sort of payment for it, and I ain't quite ready for that commitment. So guys, I noticed something that makes pretty good sound. It's actually very loud, so. I tried the bottom. It doesn't really make that good of a sound. The top, however, and this is like not even rattling, this is just. It's just naturally loud. This is the value size of 5.4 ounces. I think they make bigger sizes than that, but I can't really burn through it much before it starts getting warm, and then it decides to try to melt on me. So try not to get too many at a time, you know. Another trigger I have, which is absolutely big, and I'm probably gonna have to cut it down for future, all intents and purposes in the future. It's this giant styrofoam. I think it was used in packing. I can't remember or recall what specifically it was, but it was used in something. And now you can, if I can hold it, it can be used in tapping. Maybe actually, you have more surface area. used for scratching. That sounds nice. There we go. I don't know if that's not terrible. This thing just seems to be very versatile. One other thing I want to try, I just don't have it with me, so I'm back in just a few seconds. Alright, so I am back. I grabbed myself a Cobalt utility blade. Cobalt. And if I open this up, just this nice little like swing hinge, so you can flick it open if you want. I don't know how YouTube's gonna feel about that if I did. But what I really want to know is, how does it sound if I do something like this? Sounds kind of like the scratching, just better. The incessant bird noises. I don't know how well they're coming through the mic I'm praying you can't hear them. But I have delayed recording these videos quite a few hours, and they still just don't ever be quiet. About a full blade. I think that wraps up that. Put that knife down. This thing just seems very versatile for noises. Thinking my next video is going to be a brush video. I just don't know if I have one in my home. So, I think that about wraps up that right there. Now, the big thing that I have, I was worried that was going to make noise. Actually, I'm going to leave that lid on it for now. I came across this. Now, it's not filled with the original liquid. I have since drank it. This is now filled with water. showed me, he said you used to drink these all the time. And after trying it, I do not remember ever drinking them, but I do know they taste absolutely amazing. And I found out that a store near me actually sells them, and I might have to start buying them regularly. However, something I noticed is the label, which I don't know if it'll focus on. There you go. JoJo. I don't think that it would be the actual JoJo's ASMR. Absolutely not, but imagine if he started selling drinks along with his. Wait, no, he's in clothing. That would be insane. I would buy it. I would buy it in a heartbeat. But something that I noticed here is, speaking of JoJo, there's a trigger he uses. It's a, I don't even know what you'd call it. It's a water bag. Kind of looks similar like an ice pack, and something he does is what I found out this thing can kind of do, but on a different level. Now, I'm thinking of a YouTube shorts that he made, and it almost made me laugh. But what it is the bag is filled with water, or at least something along the lines of this. And what he does is he taps the lid, or in my case, I tap the bottom, while he tilts it back and forth. And what that does is, I'm actually going to turn the gain up on this. Oh, it's already, okay, well, it's been up the entire time, so that might be bad. It sounds a little something like this. You're gonna hear those birds, I know for a fact. There's nothing I can do about it, man. Because there's no winning where I am. In the morning there's birds, in the noontime there's traffic, and then at night there's frogs. So I feel like the birds are probably less, how should I put it, annoying than either the other two. I do actually like the sound of this. Now, it can also technically function as a water globe, but I'm not going to try to do that because it'll sound terrible. I just did there. I might have to quiet that down. My hands are getting tired. I can't flutter very well. Something I've learned very quickly. I cannot flutter my fingers like the. I can't do it for. I can't like do that for very long at all. I think it's one of those things I can do when I'm not paying attention, but the moment I realize that I'm doing it, if it just all falls apart, there's nothing. I'd have to work on that. Might also have to do with the fact I hit the gym the other day. My body is still recovering from that. It's a lot better than it was whenever I didn't work very hard. It was the first time going to the gym in ages with a buddy of mine, and what he did is more or less just walked me through and made sure I knew how to do everything properly, because even though you can work out doesn't mean you know how to do it the correct way. And beyond that, it was just, I didn't move like a whole lot of weight, not enough to be like, oh wow man, you're strong. It was just enough where it was like, okay, I feel good, I can probably increase my weight and start doing a real workout. There was one that I did that was actually, quite taxing on my body. He has a bad shoulder, he said, washed it out many, many times. I can't get the scent out. It's delicious. Stay hydrated. No, not right now. You're trying to sleep. Don't stay hydrated now. Just when you wake up in the morning, get some water. Or if you get up in the middle of the night, we all know the water tastes different at night. I don't know what they put in it, but it does taste different. That about wraps up today's video. That's what I had for you. Just some random things I have lying around the house. I hope you enjoyed today's video. And the birds will not stop chirping. I really hope I can figure that out. Maybe find another time at some point to get rid of it, but I don't know how that would work other than maybe like getting a room with like acoustic paneling, and I need something to stop the outside sound, not the inside sound. The acoustic paneling doesn't help. Acoustic paneling doesn't stop outside noises. It closes out the reverb on the inside. I'll find something out. It might take months, but